What's up, and welcome to 5280 Film Room.
We're a Colorado sports podcast by fans for fans.
Please subscribe, rate, and review, and also follow us on Facebook and Instagram.
You can also email us your input, questions, and ideas at 5280filmroom@gmail.com.
Thanks for listening. What's up, and welcome to 5280 Film Room. I'm Alyssa.
I'm Gideon.
I'm Miles.
And I'm Jordan.
And the Rockies have just finished their series against the Dodgers. It did not pan out quite how we had planned. When things are all said and done at the end of today, Friday, September 9th, the Rockies are still leading the division. That's the great thing. But they're only half a game ahead of the Dodgers, and they are 2.5 games ahead of the Diamondbacks.
Yes, and the fact that the Rockies lost the series, but they're still in first place, that's a great thing. But it's only a half a game, and we got a lot of division series coming up. Because we play a 4-game series against the Diamondbacks, and then we play the Giants, and then we play the Dodgers and the D-backs again. So these next 2 weeks are going to be huge for the division race.
Tons of divisional matchups. I would be feeling a lot more confident going into this stretch had we won the series against the Dodgers. It was unfortunate. When it comes to the wild card standings, we're still in it.
Yeah, so we would. Oof. Yeah, we'd still be a game or half a game behind in the wild card standings. So we're at the point where we just got to win the division to ensure a spot in the playoffs. And I don't want to have to do another 1-game playoff like last year.
Well, in a 4-game series coming up against the Diamondbacks, this is paramount. To me, I'm a very aggressive approach to how you need to come at certain matchups between teams. And especially with my own fandom. I love the Broncos, I love the Rockies, I love the Nuggets, but for me it's I want to see my teams win. I want to see them do well. And to me the Dodgers game was almost a must sweep series. And
we got another one coming up.
That didn't happen. We have another one coming up.
The next one might be must sweep.
Where we're at, with 4 games coming up against Arizona, it's going to be very difficult to maintain our status at the top of the division against a team that has been known to be our weak spot. We've gone scoreless against the Diamondbacks. And if we can't have solid pitching and also having our bats come alive against the Diamondbacks, we definitely have to take this series 3-1 if we want to have a serious conversation of the Rockies maintaining the divisional lead.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, especially because the Dodgers are currently, obviously, our not main opponent, but they're only a half a game behind us, and they're going into a 3-game series against the Reds. And unless the Reds pull out some magic, that's not looking good for us as Rockies fans. I anticipate the Dodgers to win at least 2 of those. And in our series against the Dodgers, we lost the first one, won the second one, and I think, honestly, we had every chance to win today, except for the fact that Tyler Anderson was our starting pitcher. And I think it was a horrible decision. It led to just an absolute downward spiral through a ton of our pitching staff. He got pulled after 2.5 innings because he was just not delivering. And this is a game that we had every ability and capability to win, but poor decision-making is what led to this loss.
Well, and Tyler Anderson, he's the guy that we called out last week on the podcast, saying that he needs to get better. And on Labor Day, he pitched, it was 5 innings, gave up 3 runs, which still isn't good, but it's a lot better than he's been. But his last 8 starts that he's had, he's really only had 1 good start. And that was a start where he gave up 1 run. And when you're in a playoff push and there's less than a month left, I think there needs to be a change.
You can't have that. You need to have all of your players firing at full cylinders and doing everything they can to put your team in the best position to win.
And from a management standpoint, you need to be setting your team up for success. And by starting Tyler Anderson, I feel like the win was jeopardized from the get-go. It would have been a miracle if we won this game with Tyler Anderson starting.
Yeah.
That's on Bud Black. 100%.
Yeah. I mean, he's Tyler Anderson. He's a good pitcher. He's had a rough stretch. I think they need to make a move him to the bullpen, and maybe move Chad Bettis to his starting spot. I mean, Chad Bettis was on our 5-man rotation at the start of the season. He had a rough start, and he's been a lot better in the bullpen. But I just like Tyler Anderson. He might be a reason why we don't make the playoffs.
But even tonight, after Anderson got replaced, Bettis gave up 3 hits over an inning and a third.
Yeah, and he also pitched like 4 innings on Friday too. Like they've been
coming
working
off
him.
a little fatigued.
Yeah, they're working him a lot right now, which isn't really fair to him, in my opinion. But I just think there needs to be a change, because the rest of the 4 guys in the starting rotation, they've been good over the last month or so. But Tyler, he's not been good. And
it happens. You know what I mean? Like you said, he is a good pitcher. But he's in a bad slump, and it has to be addressed if this team is going to be successful in this final push through the rest of the month of September.
Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, the other 4 guys have been good, so we're solid at starting pitching, which this is the first time in Rockies history that I've been able to say we have 4 really good starting pitchers.
And at a time during the season where it's like, We've had good starting pitching at the beginning and the middle of the season, but now where it's like there's playoff implications, we're having good pitching all around for the most part, and having our bats coming alive and getting players coming out and throwing home runs left and right. It definitely helps our pitching staff.
Yeah, the bullpen's been decent, not great, but they've been good enough to win games lately.
Better than, dropping in games where it's like, hey, we're handing you a 3-run lead. Don't mess it up.
They're doing enough not to cause us losses.
Right.
They're doing enough.
There's been improvement over the season.
Right.
What you want.
And the offense has seemed to be clicking in more. There's been really high points. I mean, even in today's game, the offense, really fought in those later innings and got us from 9-2 and up to 8-2 up to 8-6, and they just weren't able to do enough to compensate for the poor pitching.
And if you score 6 runs, you expect to win that game. But you gave up 9 runs. Because the average runs in a game is about 4. So, if you can score 6 runs, then you should win that game. But Tyler Anderson...
It's also at Coors, though.
Exactly.
So you might want to pad that with, 1 or 2 runs.
Yeah.
That's true.
Maybe.
That's true.
For sure. But, yeah, the offense has been clicking, and Trevor Story, he's been killing it lately. Well, with his 3 home run game on, I think that was Tuesday against the Giants, that was just spectacular. And he saw 3 pitches and hit 3 home runs in his first 3 at bats.
His 4th at bat wasn't. I mean, that was in the 9th inning, 8th inning.
Didn't he strike out in his 4th one?
Strikeout or pop fly or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
At that point, I don't care.
Right.
Yeah, 3 for 3.
3 for
over
3.
The wall. Yeah.
The second one, I believe, was the one that went for 505 feet.
Which is a record in StatCast history, which was implemented in 2015. So that's the longest home run since 2015, essentially. And that thing was just launched. When his first home run, when he swung and he fell down, that one went 470 feet. How do you fall down and hit a ball 470 feet?
Because he hit it there's an equal and opposite reaction.
Physics.
It's basic physics.
Use that degree.
He hit it so hard, it knocked him over.
It just looks so awkward.
Well, you can tell for him, too. He was, on the ground, and he was like, what am I doing
that
down
just
here?
Shows, how strong he is.
And he just sees it soaring away. Mm-hmm. He can fall down every single time if it means he's hitting home runs.
Well, and like a month or 2 ago, Gideon was saying that Trevor Story might be the best player on the Rockies, and He might be right.
Yep.
I don't know.
It's looking like it.
It really is. It
This
really
season.
is.
Arenado's starting to show a little bit of something lately, but him going into a cold streak, definitely helped out my prediction. But on the same side, as a Rockies fan, it's kind of hopeful to see Trevor Story step up when Arenado's not doing so well on the offensive side. So, I'm not sure where they're at on home runs, but I know Story's probably on the lead on RBIs. I've been out of the loop for the last couple weeks.
So
but,
Story and Arenado were tied at 31 after Story's 3 home run night. I know that.
Okay.
I don't know what.
So they're like
Nolan's
they're
hit one
right
today,
there.
right?
Yeah, Nolan did hit one today.
They're right there.
Yeah.
But when I called out for Trevor Story as being our MVP for our team, it was more on the defensive side, like how he was flashing his glove, the plays that he was making, how he was throwing the ball. And it's really encouraging to see him really finding his bat, because his rookie year, we all saw him hit 26 home runs. It was like, oh my gosh, like this dude's got some power, and it's exciting. And then he went through a hard sophomore slump, and now he's in his 3rd year, and it's like, this dude is a professional. He's been here. He's done that. He's gotten the excitement from social media and the coaching staff and the fans. And so now it's like, all right, I can hit 30 home runs and not have to worry about people flashing cameras and this and that, because I'm not some young kid that just hit a whole bunch of home runs now. Like, they're expecting him to be producing the way he is. And
well, he should be. I mean, he's
absolutely, and that's why I'm excited to see him, turning out to be more close to the MVP line as Arenado is.
Well, with Story, he's been stealing a lot of bases lately. Like, he's over 20 stolen bases.
He's
this
got
year.
25.
So that's
He's
an
a big
element.
dude, and he's
25 stolen bases.
He's long, he's fast, and he's big.
So that's an element that Arenado doesn't have.
I mean, Ian Desmond's second on our team with 17.
Wow. So
Yeah.
Trevor's
Anyways, in regards to Trevor's bat, I mean, he has, obviously with more plate appearances, but he has more hits, doubles, triples, home runs, and RBIs than Arenado. All categories. Now it's like maybe 1, 2 here, 10 there, but still.
What's their batting averages? Do you have that?
Yeah, pause.
I mean, prior to tonight, I know Story was at like
they're
1/1000th
off.
Wow.
But
Trevor Story
298 versus 299 or something, I'm sure.
Trevor Story's 296, Arenado's 297.
So that's after tonight. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love that they're both so good.
When
it comes to MVP,
but they're still
voting,
under 300. Though.
Yeah, which that's the batting average for MLB this year is 240, which is way low.
Which is
so
fine.
if you're at
but
290,
when you look
really
at
good.
the Colorado Rockies batting history, look at Vinny Castilla's career. They were just celebrating his career with the Rockies, and that dude was hitting 317, 319 for his career.
Yeah. Same with Larry Walker.
They were all over 300.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Dante
Todd Helton
Bichette.
finished his career
but they were also the
320.
Blake Street Bombers.
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
But
yeah.
when you look at baseball stats in the history, it hasn't changed much.
No,
how
yeah,
they
for
hit
sure.
the ball and the mechanics of how they play the game, it hasn't really changed much. So it's impressive to see these kids hitting the way they are, but then when you compare them to previous superstars, it's
Well, I mean,
you're
I think
there.
also,
How much more do you have?
I think a lot of the growth within the sports has been more so with the health, nutrition, and technology side of things, where they can read into more aspects of the game than we couldn't have done 20 years ago.
But it still hasn't been applied to, batting averages or home
Oh,
runs.
no, yeah.
Nobody's hit 80 home runs in a season.
No.
But the pitchers have gotten a lot better too. We've never had this
and
amount of
that
pitchers
starts-
that can throw over 100 miles an hour in the entire league.
Consistently.
Yeah.
And that starts with how people prepare for the game when they're growing up, when they're getting into it. I mean, I don't know how much of an effect it has. Maybe there's a case study out there regarding it, but I would be very surprised if there's no effect from any of the nutrition or the way the training staff prepares the players and the way that things are taken on a statistical basis.
I would
Just
agree
the
with that.
analytical
Yeah.
side of
So
things.
would you
we're
guys
looking into
say-
so many more different aspects than there were 20 years ago.
I want to throw out, just a fun, like, Rocky Balboa kind of esque situation. Like, would you guys consider Arenado and Story as good as, Vinny Castilla and, like, Andres Galarraga?
I think he's the best third baseman I've ever seen. And Vinny Castilla was a third baseman, so I definitely put him over Vinny Castilla.
Like, overall. Like,
Oh, yeah.
defense and offense.
Yes. Oh, yeah, for sure. Especially defense. Like, Vinny, he was a good defensive player.
But he was
Arenado
better known for his
great.
bat.
Yes, definitely. But Arenado also has the bat.
He's the overall package.
Yeah. So when it comes to third baseman, I think it is, as far as Rockies history, it is between Vinny and Arenado. And I would definitely take Arenado. When it comes to shortstops, I think it's between Story and Tulowitzki. And they're both pretty damn good. Tulowitzki just did it for a lot longer time than Story has done it.
Right.
Story is trending towards being the best shortstop the Rockies have ever had. But Tulo just did what Story's doing now for a lot longer. So it's kind of hard to compare them to.
Story's young, and
got
I
a
think
long
he'll be
future
able.
ahead of
I
him.
think he'll be able
Definitely.
to sustain it, and I think that's why the Rockies traded him. Unfortunately, they traded him for Jose Reyes, which did not pan out at all.
Right.
But at least they identified the fact that we can trade off Tulo, get some some kind of value for it.
I mean, we got a lot of prospects. Those prospects aren't playing in Major League Baseball. Like, they're still in the minor leagues.
But either way, the Rockies
well,
have the rights to those players.
But if you
as they
think about it,
progress.
like, Tulo, he's been injured for most of his career since he's been with the Blue Jays.
Right.
So he's not even on the field. When he's on the field, he's great. But with Tulo being traded, that gave Story an opportunity
way
to play.
more opportunities.
So, like, if you think about it like that, I think the Rockies won that trade.
Absolutely.
Because, like, both teams didn't get players they were expecting to get. Like, the trade was kind of a flop. For being a blockbuster trade.
Okay.
But that gave
But then
Story a chance to do what
it
he's
also,
doing.
allowed the other teams to kind of develop their younger players to create the environment that these teams have become now. And, for the next, I'm not sure how long Story's contract runs, probably 1 or 2 more years.
Yeah, I don't
But
know.
I'm sure we're at the point as Rockies fans where we're like, yeah, we want to keep Trevor Story. Like, we want to keep Arenado, but Arenado's already voiced that, he wants to play with a contender. Like, he wants to be pushing in the playoffs, trying to win a championship. And I think helping Arenado on that side is like retaining Trevor Story. And, having a 1-2 combo at third base and shortstop, it's like with as many right-handed batters that there are in the league, it's like you kind of have to have, it's almost like a goaltender in hockey. Like, you want a dude that's able to stop all shots from all angles, but with baseball, you got the majority of these shots coming to left field because a lot of these batters are right-handed. And, having these third base and shortstop that are able to make these huge defensive plays across the field to first base is tremendous. And I think the Rockies will be able to push as a playoff team moving forward for at least the next, year or two at minimum.
Oh, yeah. Like, they're set up to win for at least the next 2 years. If they can keep everybody. Hope they can. One, like, you throw
Right,
in
and that's where it gets complicated.
Yeah, like, you throw DJ
DJ.
into the infield, too. Like, they
Right.
got 3 Gold Glove winners on their infield. Like, most teams don't have that. Like, most teams try to get 1, maybe
And
2.
we've developed all of these players as well. Like,
Yeah,
we've
that's true.
drafted them, we've groomed them into the players that they've become, and it's cool to see the progression that the Rockies have made, even though it hasn't been necessarily win now, right now, as we're used to with the Broncos, Even with the Nuggets, there's been a little bit more upside. Like, luckily, we've had good coaching on the basketball end of things. But with the Rockies, it's like, it's been a long journey. And, I mean, even since our 2007 run, it's like 11 years growing up seems like a long time. But then you get older and it's like, yeah, like 10 years, it's not that long. And then you look at sports and you're like, no, I want to go back to the playoffs. I want to win some games. I want to get a championship.
And I'm all about the Rockies' long-term
I want more
potential.
October.
But I firmly believe that if everyone keys in, focuses, if things are well managed, if these players are just in the pocket and locking in, this can be a huge season for the Rockies. This can be the season.
Well,
they're more than capable still, right now where it stands, even though it's so tight, of taking the division and making it happen.
Well, I think this is the best starting rotation the Rockies have ever had. And their oldest starting pitcher is like 24 or 25.
That's
so, like,
crazy.
these guys are going to be around for a while.
And they're built to last, too. Like,
yeah.
like, if we do make a playoff push, like, they're young enough to have the energy to be be the same consistency
the
that
endurance
they've
and
been
the
doing
stamina to
the rest of the
continue
year.
through October.
Absolutely.
Should we be lucky enough to be in that situation? And honestly, we should be. There is the talent. There is the ability. It's all there. It is lined up, primed, and ready for success. And I really do believe that the Rockies can make it happen this year.
Yeah, they're built to win.
But they have to believe that they can make it happen this year.
We got to beat the Diamondbacks. We got to beat the Giants. And then we got another matchup against the Dodgers in LA. So, I mean, the next 3 series that the Rockies have are definitely, like, must-win series. Like, not necessarily sweep them, but we need to win the majority of these next games over the next 10 games if we want to guarantee our spot in the playoffs. Otherwise, it's up in the air with the wild card.
Right. Especially because our last 2 series are against the Phillies and the Nationals, and they're solid teams. We need to be going into those last 2 series of the regular season in a strong standing within our division.
Already knowing we're in the playoffs or something.
Exactly.
Like that.
Or in a place where, like, and with the confidence built up that they can go in and handle those series efficiently. And those final 6 games are not make or break type scenarios.
Oh, yeah. Like, I think for those last 2 series, like, the Rockies need to have, like, a 3-game lead to feel comfortable.
Agreed.
So, like you said, the Phillies and the Nationals are good teams. The Phillies are spectacular this year. Nationals, they've performed under what they were expected to do. They still got a lot of talent.
Got a lot of weapons.
Oh, yeah. They got Scherzer. They got Bryce Harper. Like, they got a lot of talent. But, yeah, these next 4 series are going to be huge for the Rockies as far as their standings in the division.
Here's hoping that, we can kick things off really strong tomorrow in that first game against the Diamondbacks, 4-game series here at home. So just capitalizing on that home field advantage. The fan base has been awesome, even really turning up on weeknights. So Rockies fans, get out there, cheer this team on.
Go to King Soopers in the seasonal section. They got Rockies gear. Go get them.
Deck it out. Buy some tickets. Go cheer on our guys. They are so close to something great right now, and I really do believe this is our year.
First division win.
Let's just kick it off really strong tomorrow evening, Monday, September 10th. Game's at 6:40 p.m. Gotta make it happen. All right, thank you guys so very much for tuning in. Bye.
Go Rockies!
What?
Peace.